Hi, my name is Dr. Heather Corwin, and I'm going to share with you a hip opener that was first taught to me by Margaret Eginton of Merce Cunningham Dance Company. And it's going to take a little while. I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to find a place that has lots of room. So I'm going to back up here a little bit. And the first thing that we're going to do is lay on our back, and you're going to send your right foot to the ceiling, and you're going to clasp your hands behind your leg, and stay with your intelligence here. If this is too much for you already, then go where you need to go. Do less. So finding a nice stretch here, and maybe you have a cat who can play with your hair as well. That's Loki. And for each of these areas, I'll want you to stay here about 90 seconds, which is about the time that requires a muscle to release. So having a nice stretch there. Then what I want you to do, and if you're able, if you're really flexible, I'm not always as flexible on mornings like today. You can grab your big toe, and then I want you to slowly let your leg fall open. And you can counterbalance with your opposite knee and arm if you want. Keep your navel moving towards your spine. Check in with your head and neck and make sure everything's nice and easy. The way to make sure that your head is not over-engaging or your neck is slowly rolling it side to side. And breathe. Keep breathing while you're doing this. There's a lot of great opening. Then I want you to bring both back to center. And keeping your hips flat on the floor and your pelvis flat, cross the center line. Loki. And reach through that heel. Nice. Breathing, nice and easy. It's going to take a little longer than you think, so just keep working on that. And you can give a little pressure through that standing foot just to help you connect all the way through your legs and pelvis up through your heel. Keep a little bit of a soft knee so you're not locking anything in that reaching leg. Fantastic. Then bring it back to center. You're going to stretch the bottom leg long, and you're going to send your left arm out, cross your body with that reaching leg, rolling over onto your belly, and you're going to bring that reaching foot up to towards your head. Some of you might be able to bring your leg all the way up here. I can't do that. And then you're just going to rest as much as you're able, trying to keep the front of your pelvis flat on the floor. You're not going to be able to do it in some cases. In some cases, you're super flexible, so you can. So just go to your edge. And again, if any of this is too much, do less. See if maybe rolling your hip back up toward the ceiling works for you. Find the place where you can comfortably do this stretch without hurting yourself. The idea is to help your body, not hurt your body. And after a little time, you can walk that foot up a little bit closer to your head. Again, some of you might be fully in the splits where your leg is already here and you're just resting over that leg. Breathing right into that pelvis. You might feel your pelvis roll a little bit with the breath, which is great. Then, I want you to slowly come up. For you, it might be here. Keep your abs engaged so that you are protecting your low back. This is not to hurt your low back. This might be where you stay to stretch. You will feel it in the front of the bottom leg as well as the reaching leg. More on the inside of the reaching leg, your adductors. And then if you're able to, coming up Onto soft elbows, long arms, kind of like an upward dog if you do yoga. Breathing, nice and easy. This is a huge stretch, so be gentle with yourself. Keep breathing into those places. Keep using your thigh muscles in your right leg to bring that kneecap up toward your pelvis. So just keep reaching that way. And slowly come on back down. And bring that reaching leg, that right foot closer to your head, and rest again. Breathing. It's not easy. You might need something soft under you, and you'll just see what that means for you as you go. Having a towel might be a useful thing to have during this stretch. Fabulous. Then you are going to, and I'm going to move up a little bit so I don't hit the table, send your left arm long under you. Bring your right hip toward the front. Hold on to that foot or toe or whatever works for you. And you're going to fan kick as if it could go in front of your face. And you're going to bring that foot back down to the floor. Release it and then slowly bring it under you. And then check your hips. This hip right now is significantly lower and closer to the floor than this hip. That's because my hips are always really tight. We'll see how yours are. So, one knee at a time, we're going to try the other side. And slowly reach that heel up to the ceiling. Again, whatever works for you. If you have to hold on to your pants or whatever, make it work for you. Breathing, checking in with the neck, making sure there isn't too much happening with the neck. Nice. And check in with that standing foot. Give a little bit of pressure so that there's a nice connection all the way through to the reaching foot. That's Mocha. I had two cats. One's super fuzzy. Breathing, nice and easy. Again, letting your body really rest onto the floor. Let the floor do most of the work for you here. And I'm going to switch it up this time. I'm going to have you cross the body a little bit, keeping the pelvis flat. Breathing. You might start to shake a little bit, which is normal. There can be little tremors in this. It's not the point, but it can happen. You might feel a stretch deep in your glutes. You might feel your quads really working. Ideally, this is stretching your IT band a little bit, which is on the lateral or outside of that reaching up leg. And I'm going to do this a little fast, but take your time with all of these. Again, 90 seconds is required for any muscle to let go and reset. So I'm going to go back to center. And I'm going to slowly bring that left leg out to the side. I'm going to counterbalance with my other knee. If you want to, you can always bring that foot up of the bent knee. Whatever works for you. Keep playing. I am also supporting that reaching leg right below my knee, the top of the calf, so that it doesn't feel like too much in the in my groin area, where I'm getting a really good stretch. And breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. The breath helps the muscles open and release, which is wonderful. Again, checking with that neck. When we use our arms, sometimes our necks naturally just want to engage. Some of us, that's just how we operate. I'm going to bring the leg back down. Fantastic. I'm going to bring both back up to the sky, the knee and the reaching leg. And already I've got more of a stretch and more reach. Now I'm going to bring that standing leg long underneath me. And I'm going to send that leg over to the side and bring that foot close to my face. I'm gonna move over a little bit so you can see what's happening. There you go. Breathing. You can hold on to your pants, you can hold on to your big toe, you can hold on to the outside of your foot, whatever works for you. And just try to rest into the stretch. That sounds like an easy thing to say, it's not always an easy thing to do. Breathe right into the place where you're getting the most stretch. Nice. You can keep that quad engaged of the reaching leg to keep the kneecap going toward and reaching toward the pelvis, which can be really useful to protect the knee and also really get the stretch where you want it to be, which is your adductors and deep inside the pelvis. I'm going to walk it a little more. One side is always going to be more open than the other. That's just part of how we're made. So be gentle and don't expect the same thing on each side. And I'm going to come up onto my elbows. Use your navel to spine. Really keep your abs engaged to protect your low back. You might not come up this far. You might not do this. You might just keep hanging out low. Or you might go up even higher. Notice my pelvis is not still on the floor. I'm getting a really great stretch in my right back leg, in the front of my quads and the front of my pelvis, and on the inside of my left leg, which is the one reaching toward you right now. And I can flex that foot, which also engages my quads, to open up my pelvis even a little more. It's good stuff. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And when you're done, and it might have been already, slowly bring yourself down. And grab that big toe or foot or thigh or ankle, whatever works for you, and rest into that stretch just a bit. Ideally, your pelvis, the front of your pelvis is open to the floor. So you're on your belly as much as you possibly can be in this position. And ladies, do what you need to do for the girls to keep them not hurting. More well-endowed ladies, you might need to bring your elbow underneath to help support and not hurt yourself. Nice. And we are going to slowly complete this. We're about to bring our hip back. And notice I reached my arm up. I slightly bent the bottom leg. And I'm going to fan kick in front of my face, if I could. And slowly bring that foot all the way to the outside. And ride the floor down underneath me. Woo! Wow, it feels so different. Look down my body. Yep. They both flattened out. So that is the hip opening crossbody stretch. I am Dr. Heather Corwin with Body by Heather, and I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Have a good day.